All right, welcome back. Here we go. One more time, 30 days to a deal with Lisa. It is day number 7. Here in the comments, we've got some exciting guests in the house today. Oh my Lord, the ladies are about to rocket over here. Let me know that you're live with me. Give me a quick comment behind the scenes. Let me know, hey, I'm here with you, Humble. This is a great series, Humble. We love Lisa, Humble. This is great. By the way, cashflowtribe.com. If you're brand new joining us for the first time, we are doing 30 days to a deal. So we're going to take somebody, put them out here, 30 days, half an hour a day, no more than that. So we are here to get a deal done. You see everything that we see behind the scenes, the offers, the negotiations, the guests. I'm here to shorten time, and Lisa will tell you that I do not waste a minute. Sometimes you waste a whole bunch of time. Here we go. We got some love for Lisa. Without further ado, if you are here, do me a quick favor. Share this out. We are live on Facebook, Cashflow Tribe. We are live on YouTube, Cashflow Tribe. We are live in like 6 different places. So give this a quick share and drop your comments throughout. I will do my best to keep on top of all these comments. And without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, my good friend, Lisa. Hey.
Hello.
Come on. Hello. We are here.
It's a great day, and
we
have so much to talk about today.
Boom. Go for it. It's all yours.
Okay. So today I've been negotiating this morning with 2 sellers that on properties that we talked about already. So just back and forth, asking questions and checking in on what their motivations are, like we talked about yesterday. So 2 properties that we talked about. One was 955 Lake Christina Way, and the other one was 2618. I think it is. It's the one known as Radisson. It was the 4-unit, had a fire on one side and vacant on one side, and was a budget of about $150,000. So I've run some numbers ahead, got some amounts from the sellers on what they're really looking for, where there's some room to negotiate. And we can throw the spreadsheet up really quick if you like, Ben. And
done. Okay, there we go.
So this is just my contact spreadsheet, but I'm going to flip over to Lake Christina. So I ran a budget, and what the owner is looking for, price is his most important. I took a look at with that neighborhood. It's a great location, corner lot, large corner lot. The renovations that we would do, there's a couple of options and opportunities there. He says he needs $635 to come out of that property to break even. He's not making any money. He bought it for $625, put $10K of renovations into it. And he negotiated those from family members who were contractors in those areas. So that is bare bones. So one of the things I was thinking about in terms of price, because we looked at what we could go to, and we talked to Jared about this one. So $585 was the maximum offer price. Max pay was $668. With a max offer price, that doesn't get him close enough. So that there's a spread of $50K. And what I'm wondering is, if he's about to, the reason I have to make a decision today about what we would offer or whether we could come up to that is because he's about to sign a lease contract for $26.50 a month with somebody for a year lease. And if we came in with a rent-to-own offer, so I was looking at what are my options. If we came in with a rent-to-own offer for 2 years of $47.58 or $50 a month, that would give him that additional $50K that he's not getting now, with a purchase price of $585. So I don't know if he would accept that. Is there anything else you can think of that how I could structure this that I'm missing?
So yeah, great question. A lot of us are like price centric. Let's go to a term centric real quick for a couple minutes. This is kind of the strategy I like. So if we're going to have an MAO of, let's say we are at 585, right?
Yeah.
And what was the number he wants presently?
635.
Cool. All right. So kind of same thing here. So the difference between that and that is quite a bit. It's probably about 50 grand or so plus.
50K.
So a couple things we could think about here real quick. I love this part. I love this part. This part is the best.
You know, when I'm putting my hair in a ponytail, it's listening.
You know what? I'm doing this now. This is my hair in a ponytail. Look at the ponytail out back here. All right, cool. Creative financing. If the market, what's it going to appreciate per year, do you think, roughly?
It appreciates in that neighborhood. I looked at the stats on Honest Store, and it's about 8.1% a year.
8.1%. Okay, per year. Cool.
It's had higher years, and it's had one slightly lower year.
Okay, at 600 here. So roughly here, so 600 and change. Let's say it's about 60K per year. This thing's going to appreciate. That's about 10% of 600. It's a little bit more, a little bit less. So it's going to increase about $60,000 a year. So if you could find a way to pay more but defer the actual amount that's owing to the seller, track with me, then you can actually increase and capture that appreciation as the market goes up. So if we can go, hey, would you be willing to take the extra 50,000 but take it 5 years from now? It's like a pension. And I'm going to give it to you in 5 years as a balloon payment, no interest bearing. And that way you can get your price. You just can't have all of it today. Or you can go to the MLS, haggle with people, get 580, 570, 560, but you're going to leave $50,000 on the table that you could have 5 years from today, but just not today. Here's where it benefits you. If the market's going to appreciate 60K per year, roughly in the first year, we've covered that balance in equity. And as long as you don't have to pay it today in cash, you're growing. So in 5 years, and when you buy this property, $60,000 times 5 years is going to be $300,000 of growth in equity. You're going to be able to pay him the extra 50K, assuming that the terms allow you, and he's willing to just defer the term to a little bit later date. You're going to capture 300 of equity?
I did test him on that, and he'd be carrying a mortgage still to do that.
That's fine.
So he said he isn't interested in any deferred payment.
Okay, that's why so he's not interested. All right, let me flip my hat back around. So he may not be interested. We may need to have a better dialogue with him and explain it more clearly. Or this is just a strategy to use to somebody else who has equity. Folks who have equity, this strategy works great. Even if somebody doesn't have equity, everything we do in Canada is debt driven. He's got some debt. He can borrow money. It costs him X. You can produce for him Y. There's always an angle because it's debt. We don't live in a society where everything is paid cash flow. What that means is we have to get creative with how debt is structured. What's his monthly obligation going to be as a debt holder if he has to borrow the 50? What is he going to receive? But at the end of the day, he's getting 50 grand more. If he doesn't want the 50 grand more, great. Then take the cash. See, this is where it becomes really valuable because now we can leverage both sides. We go, hey, you want more money? Great, give me some terms. Oh, I don't want to do that. Well, then take less money. You're getting one or the other because nobody's going to pay top dollar in a market that's not increasing. So this is a really interesting way. Here, the comments are blowing up. This is a really interesting way of getting us to get a little bit more leverage in every single deal. Okay, so back to you here. Let's talk about it.
So somebody asked about he wants to rent it out for a year, but he'd still be carrying the mortgage. Yes, but he's covering his mortgage payments and taxes, expenses with that.
Okay. All right. So what's the next level of thinking? Would he be a good candidate for AFS? Maybe. Agreement for sale? Perhaps. It's an agreement for sale. So kind of like a sandwich lease option. We won't get into that right now, but it helps people navigate this. I have zero equity. I want to sell the property, remove the burden. There's other ways to do this. This is pretty popular in Calgary and Alberta and those areas. Okay. Somebody's like, I'm watching. Well, don't just watch. Do something about it. Let's go. All right. Back to you. We've only got 20 minutes. So where do you want to go?
Okay. So we're going to bring on first Catherine O'Neill. She's a private lender, and she's going to give a quick intro of her business and herself, and then she's going to give us an overview about what she looks for in deals, And we're also bringing on Danielle DeMarco, who's a mortgage broker in Calgary who works with investors. And she's going to do the same thing, 1 minute bio and then an overview. And then we're going to pepper her with questions, both of them.
Awesome. So we're going to like, all my landing ladies, all my landing ladies. Oh, no, it's not that. Okay, bring them both on at the same time. Is that what we're doing?
Yep. Let's
all right, let's go. Here we go. Welcome, Catherine. Say hello.
Hello. Very pleased to be here. Thank you.
So good to see you. You are awesome. You are awesome. I know you personally, and you are an awesome human being. So I'm glad you are here. And welcome, Danielle. Hello, Danielle.
Hello. Hi.
Hello. Welcome, welcome. Good to have you here. So go ahead. The floor
so
is
we're
yours.
going to have Catherine do your intro first.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Lisa. Very happy to be here. I private lend personally using my home equity line of credit. And then I am one of the founders of Equity Hub, which is a private lending company, a boutique private lending company. You had asked me to speak on what things are important to me as a lender or representing lenders. I would say a couple of things. First off, upon being presented with an opportunity, make sure as the borrower that the information you provide is complete. It's data driven. It is not drama driven. It's complete. So the property information, if there's anything about the title that you need to talk about, videos, pictures, comparables for the property today, comparables for the property the way it's going to be, anything weird, it's all there at once. Don't make me chase you, because that just delays the process and doesn't give me a good, warm and fuzzy feeling. What we do with that information is we underwrite the deal to make sure that it makes sense both for you and for any investors that we have. And as part of that, we will make sure you have multiple exit strategies. So you may intend to sell the property as a flipper for a certain amount. But if you get $50,000 or $100,000 less, we know in this market, things are not going up anymore, they're going down. We'll take a look and see if we can still get our investor money out at that lower amount. We'll also take a look at maybe if you can't sell and you had to refinance, usually at 80%, can we still get our investor money out? Because that's of most importance to us. And the other thing is, we want you to be able, after the 6 months or whatever the time is, to be able to go off on your own. We do not want you to be indebted to us forever. That's not the name of the game. We want to win-win together. Right. The second thing we look for is that you pay your interest on a timely basis when you're supposed to. Even better, pay it early. But I've got one lender, for example, 8 o'clock in the morning, in comes the interest into my inbox once a month. Love that. I can count on it. Again, if I have to chase people, to get them to send me the interest, and it's later in the day, it's the next day, it's the next week, this is not cool and doesn't make me feel like I want to do this again in the future.
Right.
The third thing I would say is communicate early. Sometimes things are not going as expected. A month before the loan comes due, proactively reach out to your lender and say, here's the situation. Maybe the windows are late. Maybe you're not able to sell. But while there is lots of time to be able to look at options and be able to have the conversation in a calm way, be able to bring up what it is if you want to extend or just whatever. People who communicate early, it's a lot easier. It also goes two ways. It's important for the lender to communicate as well. So if I'm extending a loan, but this is the only time I'm going to do so, I make sure I let the borrower know that I'm, extending by 3 months, but it's not going to happen again. So that they have an opportunity that if, I don't know, for whatever reason, the project keeps going, they know they have to find another source of funding to be able to pay me out. So that's also important both ways. And then the last piece I will say, it's a little bit on the serious side, but needs to be said. And that is that a loan is due when a loan is due. And it is, if people do not pay back their lender at, they pay several days late or they don't pay at all, this just tells me that you don't take a contract seriously. You don't take a relationship seriously. And worse than that, we're all connected together. We're all borrowers and lenders. So when I get paid late, this puts me in difficulty with paying people who I owe. And suddenly now I'm having to scramble. And that's not cool. And that is not fun. And I will not default. I will not delay the lenders that I have. But it means that I've got to do extra work. And so in situations like that, I won't be lending to the person again. So, I mean, it makes sense, but like, it's just really important because there are people who don't take things as seriously. And if you don't take them as seriously, I'm not a public institution. I don't have to work with you. So if you want to do well with your lender, treat them with respect, do things early, communicate well, and there's no reason why you won't have a long and productive multi-year relationship.
Yeah.
Hey, Catherine, real quick. I love that. By the way, treat yourself with respect. You want to blow up your reputation? It's not about even treating Catherine with respect. If you can't respect yourself enough not to sabotage your growth and your relationships, you're the one screwing it up for you. I want to win. I never want a lender ever to say that I was unfaithful in my commitment. I never want to say that, I was late because I was too busy, too distracted, too whatever to send the wire on time. That is the fastest way to sabotage your growth as a business owner. Treat yourself with respect. Treat your business with respect. Always pay early. You are planting seeds every time you make a payment. Think about that. Are you planting good quality seeds, or did you just plant the weed because you played late? And now when we have to look at the landscape of all the deals we've done together, or the history, I see all these weeds in your lawn, and I'm like, I don't want to plant more seeds back here if you keep planting bad seeds. I want you to plant good, consistent seeds. So when I look back, I see a beautiful bed of flowers, and I'm like, this is great. I would love to plant more seeds here. Catherine, you are a pro. I'm so happy you're here. Lisa, back to you.
Catherine, do you have a maximum amount that you will loan a first-time investor that you haven't worked with before? I don't mean first time necessarily, just that somebody you haven't worked with before.
So it depends on the deal. But no, honestly, often with a second mortgage, people will go up to 85% loan to value. 80 to 85% done that. I can even see going higher, again, if there is enough wiggle room in the deal and multiple exits that I or my investors will get their money out.
Okay, thank you. That makes sense. And Danielle, we're going to make sure that we have time for you as well. So we'll scramble any questions at the very end. So people, if you have questions, throw them in the chat, and I'll be watching the chat as well. And Danielle, go for it.
Awesome. Thanks for the intro. I'm Danielle DeMarco. I've been a mortgage broker here in Calgary for over 16 years with Mortgage Architects. So lots of experience, I like to think. I specialize in investment financing, and I do presentations actually around the city on how to arrange financing on multiple properties. So today, you had mentioned you wanted to kind of chat about single family homes, duplexes with multiple units. So what I'm looking for as a broker, so, similar to what Catherine is looking for, she's a lender, I'm kind of the intermediary, the broker in between, is that, we need a full application. We need all of your information. I like to know everything. I ask a ton of questions. It might seem a little bit intrusive, but the more information I have, the better I'm able to package up options for you, be creative, see what's possible, and come back to you with the best plan for investing. One of the things we are always looking at when we're looking at properties are they legally suited properties already or not? Obviously, for the lenders, the best use of rental income is to have legally suited properties. Some lenders won't use any rental income for illegal suites. So if it doesn't have a legal suite, is that something you're intending on putting in? Is it something we can add into the mortgage and include in the financing as well? So then that's not money out of your pocket. Another thing to watch for is rental income on tax returns. So depending on the lender, are you claiming that rental income on your tax returns? Are you collecting it under the table? There's a place for each, a time and place for each.
Oh, we might have lost her there.
All right. Well, until she pops back in here, let's see here. Back to you, Lise.
Okay, so Catherine, I'm just checking some of the comments that we have a troller in there. Are
Hold on,
you?
real quick. This has never happened before. There is some pervert in the comments dropping a bunch of like naked links. You just grow up, right? Wherever you are, you can't possibly see somebody winning in business. I know this is a little bit of extra drama, but Lisa, we're going to go here. In your life, when you try to do anything awesome and you try to get out of, out of whatever you're out and you want to win, there will always be people who drag you down. And if you're the person in here who's dropping all this like nudity links, grow up. All right. We already get it. Cool. You've been seen. Lisa's going to crush this anyway. I don't own Facebook. I don't own YouTube, nor do I want to. It's a free platform for all of us to use. So if you see people like this in your life who try to hold you down, try to create noise and whatever else, push it aside. I see you. Good luck. Have a nice day. Back to Lisa. So there we go. A little bit of drama, but that's okay. At least we're doing this anyway.
So, Catherine, a couple of questions are you looking for anybody you work with to have their own money in the deal, in every deal, or is there, if they're able to put together a JV partner and then they're coming to you with that application, is that an issue for you, or are you looking for them to have at least some money in the deal?
Yeah, not being a bank, we get to be able to set our own rules. And this idea of having your own money in that, or a certain amount, it has to have been in your bank account for X number of months. This is not of a concern for me.
Okay.
We assess, your character, the strength of the deal, and again, it is helpful if there has been some previous understanding. So we're not mortgage brokers that work to, serve a number of different people, maybe who they never met before.
Right.
What we like to do is sort of work with the same people over and over again and establish a relationship with them. So we're not trying to do, a one-off here and there. You have to start somewhere, but yeah, if you are a good steward of your money, if this is how you're making your family's money, that's like, we'd be happy to partner with you and help you with that.
Oh, great. Okay. That sounds good. And then I think we got Danielle back. Yay.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. I was sitting chatting. I didn't even know I was gone. And all of a sudden I was backstage. So sorry about that.
We heard, the last thing we heard was you do presentations around
around Calgary. Okay, perfect. So what I was saying is similar to what Catherine was saying, is that I need a full and complete mortgage application. So we need all of your information. We need it to be accurate, same thing, data driven. The more information that you can give me, the better I can help you. I take all of that information, package it up, present it to the lender how I think it should be presented, versus you just walking into a bank, spilling all of your life story, all of your drama, as Catherine mentioned, and then them saying, no, sorry, we don't want to deal with you. I get to listen to all of that, pick out the pieces that I want, send that off, package it up to help you. So some of the things that we're looking for that are really important is, property-wise, are there legal suites or are they illegal suites? Legal suites obviously allow for the use of rental income on the more A lending side, versus illegal suites don't. So that's something we look for. Are you planning on suiting the property? Is it something we can add into the mortgage? That's something else we're going to talk about. As far as borrowers, go, are you potentially moving into the property? Can we lessen the down payment so you can leverage the bank's money? Are you purchasing it specifically as a rental? What kind of rates and terms come with, owner occupying or second home or a rental property? And how can we set it up to be most advantageous for you to save you on interest rates, save you on using your cash, leverage the bank? So some other things we look at also are amortizations. How much are we putting down? Can we extend that amortization out and increase that positive cash flow on a monthly basis? Is that what's important to you? Or is it a long-term hold where the goal isn't necessarily to pay it off quickly? Or is it something that you need relatively soon? You're doing an investment, but maybe you're retiring in 15 years and you don't want to hold it longer than that. So all of these questions will pop up during our conversations to help guide us on how do we set up that financing to suit what it is your investment goals are. And then obviously borrower, credit, income, The banks don't love professional landlords when we're talking. And when I say bank, I mean lending institutions, but I'm talking more A side where there's best rates and things like that.
Mhm.
They don't really want professional landlords. So how can we present your application to show them that, hey, there is other revenues coming in, you do have other income coming in, but investing is also something you're interested in, not necessarily something you're doing professionally. And then as far as financing goes, it's like a big puzzle, right? We're just fitting together all of these puzzle pieces and trying to find you the best deal. What I love about this is multiple properties. If you've got someone who wants to invest and their goal is 4, 5, 6 properties, how do we go about setting up which lenders do we use on which property and why and in which order and how come? And I go through all of that with each of my clients and their investment plan.
Great.
Okay, so Lisa, we're down to 5 minutes. That's so
Yep.
good. Danielle, thank you for the info. Catherine, thank you for the info.
Yeah.
Lisa, we got to make a deal, get pre-qualified or something. We are here to work. So
Yeah.
what do we need to do to move the needle forward here today?
So what would I need to do to get pre-qualified for some of these properties that I'm looking at making offers on? Catherine, do you want to start?
There is no pre-qualification
Okay.
with a private lender. It is all about the deal. So upon getting the deal, I mean, you could certainly talk to us in advance and say, this is what I'm thinking about. And
Mhm.
we would help you by saying, here's the type of information that we'd be looking for.
Okay.
And so that we can go through it quickly, but really it's just on the deal. The
Okay.
fact that you do this professionally, you don't have any T4 income, is not a concern.
Okay.
I will say that we draw the line at bankruptcy. So if you've previously gone bankrupt, that is something that I don't personally lend to. And I guess it's kind of obvious as to why. But yeah, so no, we don't have that. But maybe Danielle could speak to the qualification process her folks
Yep.
would have.
Yeah, for sure. So essentially, we're looking at, if it's a residential property, we are looking at you qualifying. Unlike Catherine, that's more private financing. So on the A side of financing, even B side, we do have ratios we have to meet in qualifying. So we're going to want to see how much are you paying for the property. If you mentioned rent to own, if it's being set up that way, it's really important we have a conversation about how it's being set up, because rent to own, the banks do not like. They have to be set up a very, very specific way. And we have ways around doing a rent to own, where you can do a rent to own in the back end, but on the front end, we're actually showing it as a regular purchase. So we really need to chat about things like that. If that's the route you're going, that's critical. Otherwise, it's going to come down to purchase price, down payment, whether you qualify, kind of standard mortgage stuff.
Okay. So it sounds like for you, Danielle, I need to give you the sort of overall plan of how many units I'm looking at buying in the next 2 years. And then we figure out what a strategy might look like. For you, Catherine, I would come to you with a specific deal. Here's what the numbers look like. And I quickly wrote a list around complete information, title, videos, pictures, exit strategies, a communication plan, timelines, all of those kinds of things. And
okay, so Lisa, real quick, because we've got 2 minutes left and we're done. So here's what I recommend. This is what I've done in the past.
Great.
I would, in the getting the deal done as quick as possible, because you're looking at active deals and you don't have 2 weeks or a week to wait for feedback. You need something pretty instant. So what I've done in the past is maybe a good strategy is I'm getting the active deal, sending it to Catherine and going, can we do this now? What do you need from me to pre-qualify me? You like me, you know me, do I have to send you anything? Catherine says, not a whole lot, send me a great deal. Cool. Close the deal with Catherine so we can get it done. On the back end, when we keep that deal, refinance it, burr it, whatever the case is, now you have time to build up your protocol with Danielle, be able to send her the documents, let her do her job to kind of fulfill all the different requirements. So I have always gone private on the front end. And then, a great option is to go bank route, B lender, A lender, whatever on the back end. That is a faster way. The challenge with Danielle's is that she is a better rate, let's just say a lower rate, but there's more paperwork and it's more cumbersome. So a lot of investors get tripped up. And I'm only talking about the context of speed, not value. There's no one's better than the other. One just tends to be faster than the other. I'm able to pull a little bit quicker leverage with Catherine if I know her well. And then with Danielle, I want that back end financing. If you're going to keep the deal, obviously you'll get a more conventional loan. And I think Catherine would like to kind of get the velocity on her money going anyways, or she can do a deal, close it out, do another deal, close it out. I don't imagine Catherine wants to hang on to mortgages for 5 or 10 years because she's trying to get more volume of business, whereas maybe for Danielle. So you guys just talk about that for the last minute that we have. Is that a good plan? Am I off my rocker? And then back to Lisa. So Catherine, then Danielle, then back to Lisa. Okay.
I've heard that used quite frequently as well. A number of people have talked about the flexibility to be able using private money, and then the relationship with somebody to be able to deal with whatever happens. But these are always short term, 3 months, 6 months. They maybe bleed into a year. But yeah, these are short term options dealing with flexibility in relationships. Longer than that, the interest rate is very challenging. And as I said, what we're looking for is a win-win. And part of that win is, you pay it off and move on. And so that's, I would say Danielle may speak differently, but you don't want to, we're not a long-term option.
Okay.
Yeah, we can be your exit strategy, quote unquote, as Catherine's an example. So if you want something super, super quick, as far as like a pre-approval and a quick approval, we can usually do it within, a pre-approval can be done same day if you have your paperwork. An approval can be done within 3 to 4 days, but a funding, we need about 2 weeks. Catherine might be able to do it quicker, but we're also great for an exit strategy if you start with Catherine, and then she obviously wants to see an exit strategy, so she's not stuck with you for very long. We could be your exit strategy as long as we can come up with a plan.
Great. Okay. Sounds good. And thank you both for coming on. I know this was fast and furious. And we have tomorrow we have a realtor coming on, and he's going to talk about offer to purchase paperwork and what we need to know in Alberta. So stay tuned. And Ben, back to you.
All right, great. Catherine, thank you. Danielle, what's the best place people can get a hold of both of you? Catherine, go ahead. Just tell us where they can connect.
I like my email, which is o'neill.ca@outlook.com.
O'neill.ca@outlook.com. And Danielle?
Yep, same thing. Danielle@danielledemarco.com. You can Google Danielle DeMarco mortgage broker and find all my info anywhere.
Great.
Okay, Lisa, what are we doing to wrap up here? Just give everybody a quick 30-second wrap up, and we are gone for the day. Ladies, thank you so much.
I'm going to jump on and give you a quick recap and my homework for tonight. And I'm going to be working on how to structure those deals and figuring out what a good offer looks like for both of those. And then I'm going to be connecting in with Catherine and Danielle.
Okay, great. All right, well, that's it, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations, Lisa. We're getting everything rocking and rolling. Everybody else, have a great day. We hope to see you guys tomorrow, same time, 2:30 Eastern time, while Lisa tries to get a deal in the next 23 days. We don't have a lot of time left. Lisa, let's go get it. See you tomorrow, everybody.